obviously being another number one seed. Just how you guys make it look easy, but how does it feel to do that again?
Yeah, no, it's a awesome opportunity. Just glad to run it back and excited for what's ahead.
To be in Indianapolis, how big of a deal is that where you're going to have a large home following in a venue you guys know pretty well?
Yeah, it's definitely huge. I mean, back-to-back years we played there. It was like a home game, and super excited to be there.
A lot of Westfield people I know will be there. Just talk about that support system that you've had throughout this year and last year with those folks in Westfield.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable. I mean, people followed. They still paid attention to not only Purdue basketball but me as well. So it's unbelievable, and I'm sure it'll be a good home crowd.
Physically, having gone through this once, how much different do you feel now, and what do you feel better than you did a year ago?
Yeah, no, I think just knowing what all is coming, what all happens, just how hard it is, and the teams we play, figuring out different ways to take care of your body, and just resting. And I think we've done a lot better job this year than we did last year, just because we've been through it and we understand like what's going to come. So I think it's a lot better.
Are you still physically okay after the weekend?
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, I'm living. I'm here and ready for the next step.
Okay.
You've been asked from the beginning of the season about last year's tournament. You're going to be asked a whole bunch this week. How, as a team, have you guys just approached it amongst yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it's another tournament, it's another game. So I mean, last year was last year, and we're on to this year, and we got the same situation.
What did you guys take away from last year that you guys have utilized this offseason and all of this season?
Yeah, no, I think just going into games, just playing our basketball and understanding that we need to go out and, I mean, any game can be tossed up in the air at this point. So I think just being focused from the tip and being ready to go.
Is there an advantage, takeaway last year, but just not knowing who you're going to play and you can scout both teams in that game, that play-in game?
I mean, yeah, I think at the end of the day, I mean, there's a lot of games that's been played throughout the season. We're at the end here, so you can watch whatever game. But, yeah, with them playing here coming up, I think we can get a good little advantage point there.
Going to Westfield, how did that help shape you to where you are today?
Yeah, I mean, just the people there, the family, the friends I've made there. It's just, I mean, I can't really put it into words other than just people giving me opportunities and believing in me and got me to where I am at today.
I know you're still close with some of the current players on the team. What impact do you try to have on those guys?
Yeah, no, I mean, they always text me. I hear the good, the bad from them. So, I mean, they always joke around. And, I mean, I love having guys like that that always keep up and cheer you on and support you through everything. So it's unbelievable.
Mason, you're an Indiana guy. How cool is it to be playing in Indianapolis?
It's a special thing. You know, the best part about it, our fans, it's easy travel for them and expecting the home crowd. So.
How much has this team blocked out the noise for a whole year to get back to this point where you're in the same situation and you know this week is going to be a lot of replaying what happened last year?
I wouldn't even say blocking out the noise. You know, I think we take it in and talk about it rather than ignoring it and let it fuel us. So.
Does it ever get old to hear your program's name on the selection show?
Never. You know, we work for it. It's something that every single college team should cherish. It's a special thing, and it shows how hard we work and the success we've had continue.
Why do you think this team is different as opposed to from last year's team?
Lance Jones is a big key, and then I think we've just learned from our experiences. You know, we've been through a lot. A lot of players have been here for a while. We understand the program. We understand our system. And, you know, we just have a different kind of attitude towards us this year with how last year went, and we're just ready to go all the way.
How have you seen Braden and Fletcher grow?
You know, naturally, I think being a freshman, you find things that you've just never been through before, so you don't know how to handle it, possibly. But having another year and this year, you know, they look more experienced. They look more calm in situations that last year they might not have been. I think that's the biggest thing, just being able to have experience to go off of rather than just being thrown into the fire.
You're going to an arena that you've played a lot of games in. Does that help?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we're used to playing here in Mackey, and I think we play better here. But ultimately, it doesn't matter where we play. We just have to prepare the right way, be mentally locked in on the game day, and give our best.
How weird is it the next couple of days not knowing who you guys are actually going to play?
I mean, it is what it is. We're going to prepare for both teams and do the best we can and keep our bodies healthy, stay sharp this week, and whenever the time comes, we'll play whoever we have to play.
Because of what's happened last year, do you guys feel pressure?
I wouldn't say pressure. I think we've always put pressure on ourselves to hold to the standard that we've created for ourselves. We're a great team, but it's up to us to stay that way. Whenever things fall off, that's whenever teams don't play as well. That's whenever things just start going bad. So it's up to us to keep our standard, no matter who we play. Whether that's preparation, our mental attitude, how we wake up in the morning, just sticking to our routines. That's the biggest thing.
Zach mentioned this yesterday, but that game had like 10 straight minutes of clutch moments that had to happen. Was that kind of a good intro going into the NCAA tournament to play a game like that with Wisconsin?
Yeah, you could say that. I think all year we've had different times where different players showed up, and we need that to continue throughout the tournament.
Okay. How's the mentality changed now?
We know what we're playing for now. We just gotta, be laser focused now.
First time seeing your team on Selection Sunday, how special was that?
It was really special. I kind of held in my emotions because I didn't want to be the only one celebrating or anything like that. Everybody else was, calm. So I just wanted to keep that persona too and be calm as well.
From an outsider's perspective, how have you seen this team handle what happened to them a year ago, kind of being a new guy that they brought in here to be a difference maker with that group?
Being here, you wouldn't have known that it happened. Everybody goes in, works hard, does their part, and just enjoy being around each other. So whatever happened last year is, last year, and you would have never known it happened.
What have these guys sort of talked with you about how to approach? Obviously, from last year, they've experienced this whole NCAA tournament at Purdue. What have they told you?
I was talking to Coach Brantley, when our name came up. He said just going in with the right mindset, playing hard. Obviously, everybody wants to see, a higher or a lower seed, win or, make it further. So just sticking together and, just playing hard.
What have you learned about this group over the course of the Big Ten tournament?
We're a really tough team. We play together, we play for each other, and at the end of the day, we do whatever it takes to win.
Okay, Fletcher, just to be another number one seed again, you guys make it look easy. But how challenging is it though to do what you guys just accomplished?
It's really hard. A lot of work put in over the summer, going to Europe and then in the fall and then going into Maui. It's just a lot. It takes a lot out of you physically, mentally, but ultimately the team stuck together and we found a way.
How much more confident are you going into the tournament this year compared to last year?
A lot more confident. We've been through a lot. People always say it's hard to be good. It's not hard to be bad. So just putting in a lot of work, trusting each other and trusting everybody, coaching staff, players, fans, everybody. We got to stick together as one.
You guys have talked about keeping it normal all season, one game at a time, but now the tournament's here. Is it fair to say there is something a little extra because of what happened last year?
For sure. It's something you want to do and something I think we've done good all year is looking at that game before us. Obviously, we had to win some big ones to win the Big Ten regular season, but ultimately just to get that one seed, it was tough for sure. And I think the work we put in and the wins we produced, it shows a lot about our team and how ready we are this year.
To embrace what happened last year instead of run from it, how has that rallied this team together for basically a whole year?
Yeah, it just gives you a bigger chip on your shoulder. There's more you want to prove, there's more you want to do, and I think just the difference between last year and this year is how hungry we are. That bad taste in our mouth has stuck with us all year. We've had to deal with it, and now just being ready to go for March and ready to prove what everybody said is wrong.
At this point in the season, do you feel stronger than you did a year ago?
Yeah, definitely. You know what you need to do to get your body ready to play, whether it's 3 games in 3 days in the Big Ten tournament, or whether it's a Thursday-Sunday matchup with 2 top Big Ten teams. It's just getting yourself ready to go, kind of sticking to a routine and figuring out what works for you and then trusting everybody around you.
Was that something you worked on during the offseason, just the conditioning to go through a 35-game season or so?
Yeah, definitely. You feel your legs start to wear down a little bit as last year, and you kind of figure out what you need to do to get yourself ready to go, but not ready to go, ready to play and feel good about yourself. So just doing that, finding a routine that works for me, and then now really doing it and getting ready to go for Friday.
The last time you guys played in Cambridge was against Arizona, and that felt like an NCAA tournament game. What are you kind of anticipating in terms of the environment?
Yeah, that was a great environment. Both teams had good fans there, but ours really showed out as it being in Indy. But I think playing in an NBA arena for a round of 64 matchup, it's something that you grow up wanting to do. So just being so excited for that and not thinking about all the outside attention, all the noise, just being able to think about how you're playing as a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament is pretty cool.
Your whole season's been about focusing on yourselves and more than the opponent. Now you don't know your next opponent. How much does that come into play that you know, it's just the same approach you've taken all year long at this point.
Yeah, that doesn't really matter. We're focused on getting ourselves ready to play and finding out Wednesday who we play. That doesn't affect us.
Zach breaks the all-time scoring record here. Does he ever cease to amaze what he's able to do?
Oh man, it's hard to appreciate it. It's someone who's one of your best friends. You play with them, you live with them, and you're just around him so much that you don't get to appreciate how special it is that he broke a record like that. But one day we'll get to look back at it and see how cool it is and just talk about it. But right now we're just focused on winning, and I think he is too.
Obviously, a year ago, your role is much different than now, but just tell me about sitting there watching that happen last year and realizing, like, you know, next year I'm going to be a part of this, and we're not going to let this happen again.
Yeah, you know, obviously, I kind of was a part of the team, obviously, but it was just kind of a different experience from me, not being on the floor. And, you know, that group has matured a lot. Obviously, Braden and Fletcher being here another year. Zach will be National Player of the Year again, back-to-back years. So, obviously, it's a lot different this year, and, you know, we're ready to play this year.
How excited are you to actually take the floor in your first NCAA tournament?
I'm very excited. I remember growing up, probably from like second grade, I used to always just skip lunch, and I'd go eat lunch in classrooms just watching games. So I'm excited to finally play.
Have you gotten any advice from some of these guys who have been able to do this so far?
I just think it's kind of the same thing that I've been told the whole year. You know, we're going to prepare the same way, do the same thing we've been doing all year, because obviously you know, we've had success with it, and they've had success throughout their careers, and so we're just kind of going to do the same thing we've been doing.
How does the mentality change now compared to maybe how you guys prepared for every single game up to this point?
You know, we obviously just take it one game at a time. We just kind of focus on ourselves, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
This whole week is going to be about what FDU accomplished last year, and I'm sure you'll hear about it quite a bit. How has this team embraced that and really just rallied around that and said, you know, collectively this is what we have and we're going to own it?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a reality. That's what happened. They beat us last year. And obviously we all know that, and we kind of play with a chip on our shoulder. Every away arena chants FDU throughout the whole game. So we've kind of heard it ever since we lost. So it's something that we've had to live with, but we've also grown from it quite a bit.
Added pressure this year because of what happened last year?
I just think it's just focusing on ourselves. I think a lot of us would agree on that. You know, obviously we haven't had great success in March, but that's going to change this year.
When the entire arena is rooting for Cinderella, and even not fans of the opposing team, just random fans are rooting against you, how do you kind of block out that noise? Does that give you extra motivation at all?
I mean, I think it just goes to kind of every game we've played in, besides at Mackey. Even when obviously when we played Indy against Arizona, we had a lot of Purdue fans there, but when we were in Minneapolis for the Big Ten tournament, every non-Purdue fan was cheering against us. You know, no one wanted to see us win, and that's kind of how it's been all year, besides at home. So, you know, it's just going to be good to be close to home, and we're just going to go in there playing with the same mentality we've had.
This season started a long time ago. Games in Europe. How have you guys grown together since the summer?
It's just a family. Honestly, we're all a family. You know, obviously Lance joining us this summer, and you know, the freshmen coming in. You know, we've just been super close since day one, and obviously that trip was a lot of fun, and it kind of gave us a chance to take a step back from basketball and just to get close with each other off the court. So we've grown our relationship, and that's helped us get to where we're at right now.
You mentioned Lance. How has he changed this team?
I mean, he just brings kind of a different mentality. Coach Painter always says, make your hard work fun, and I think that's kind of the definition of Lance Jones. He's always having fun, and, you know, it's not just for the cameras. It's not just during games. It's not just for whatever. Anytime I see him, he puts a smile on my face, and kind of everyone in the locker room, just because he's such a happy guy, and, you know, he works hard too, so exactly what Coach Painter talks about.